Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. At 50 plus, Ben Shephard was supposed to be living the chapter everyone envies. The familiar smile, the easy charm on morning television, the voice that reassured millions that everything somehow would be all right. But in this imagined, fictional retelling, there came a night when the lights dimmed, the cameras stopped rolling, and Ben faced a silence far louder than applause. It began quietly, too quietly. Ben had just finished another flawless broadcast. Colleagues laughed, producers clapped him on the back, and viewers at home tweeted their usual praise. Yet, as he drove home through the rain-soaked London streets, something felt wrong. His chest tightened, not in pain, but in pressure, the kind that comes when emotions pile up, unspoken and unresolved. At home, the house felt different, still, heavy. The warmth that once greeted him had cooled into polite distance. In this fictional narrative, the marriage he had long believed unbreakable was now strained by years of unshared worries, conflicting schedules, and conversations postponed for another day. That day, it seemed, had finally arrived. Words were exchanged, carefully at first, then clumsily, then painfully honest. Old misunderstandings resurfaced. Small resentments once ignored grew sharp edges. Ben, the master communicator on screen, found himself lost for words when it mattered most. "I didn't know you felt that way," he said quietly. "That's the problem," came the reply. The argument wasn't explosive, it was worse. It was calm, measured, final in its tone. And when the bedroom door closed that night, Ben remained downstairs, staring at a blank television screen, feeling as though the ground beneath his carefully built life had shifted. Hours later, the pressure in his chest returned, stronger this time. His breathing grew shallow. Panic crept in, feeding on exhaustion and heartbreak. In this fictional account, it was fear, not illness, that sent him reaching for his phone. An emergency dash followed. Flashing lights cut through the darkness as Ben sat in the back of an ambulance, his mind racing faster than his heartbeat. Was this what it all came down to? A life spent making others smile while quietly carrying his own weight alone. At the hospital, the beeping machines and antiseptic smell brought everything into sharp focus. Doctors reassured him, no heart attack, no lasting damage, just stress, severe, unrelenting stress. But those words didn't lessen the ache. Lying in that hospital bed, Ben replayed moments he'd brushed aside for years, missed dinners, hurried goodnights, promises of "we'll talk later." He thought about how easy it was to perform happiness and how hard it was to ask for help when the cameras were off. In this imagined moment of vulnerability, tears came, not for the fear of mortality, but for the realization that success had distracted him from listening, truly listening. When he was discharged in the early hours of the next morning, dawn breaking softly outside the hospital windows, Ben felt changed, not fixed, not healed, but aware. Back home, the silence still lingered, but it no longer felt invisible. In this story, Ben finally spoke the words he had avoided for years. "I'm not okay, and I don't want to pretend anymore." What followed wasn't a neat resolution. There were difficult conversations, awkward pauses, emotional honesty that hurt before it healed. Whether the marriage survived in this fictional tale is less important than what Ben learned in those moments, that strength isn't about smiling through pain, and resilience isn't about carrying everything alone. When Ben returned to television weeks later, viewers noticed something different. The smile was still there, but it carried depth. The pauses felt more human. He spoke openly about pressure, about slowing down, about the importance of checking in with those you love, and with yourself. Behind the scenes, colleagues whispered that he seemed lighter, not because life had suddenly become perfect, but because he'd stopped hiding the cracks. In this creative reimagining, Ben Shephard's darkest moment didn't define him. It redirected him. It reminded him, and perhaps those watching, that even the brightest faces can carry unseen battles, and that sometimes it takes a breaking point to finally choose honesty over image. Not a scandal, not a downfall, but a human moment, fictionally told, where vulnerability became the beginning of something braver.